out here and see people's faces by the time you guys first see me. When I'm out front, everybody comes walking in, everybody looks mad at me. Everybody's just mad, and I finally realized why. Everybody gets so much happier when I get on stage, because by the time I get up here, that's when you guys all realize that I am not here to repo a car. Right? I got that look like I'm going to take something, don't I? Got people in the front row going, he looks shifty. He's shifty. I know what the rest of you are looking at, and I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are looking at me going, that is possibly the pointiest head I've ever seen on a human. Go ahead and take a picture of it if you have to. That's not fictional. That is a real pointy head. Some of you didn't figure it out until I just said it. You're looking at your partner going, you know, you're right. He's almost a unicorn. Look at that. There is some fun. There's one thing I love to do. Here's what I love to do. I love to go to the beach, submerge to my eyebrows, and then just glide up on people. I know. People lose their minds during Shark Week. My pastor's like, that's not right. I'm like, you bring people to Christ your way, I'll bring them mine. That's right. Nothing brings people to prayer faster than thinking they got a great white barreling down on them. We had a nice little drive to the show. I'm driving in traffic on the way here, and we're riding behind a car, and it's beat up old nasty car. It's real dirty. Had a bumper sticker on the back. The bumper sticker said, "My other car is a broom." That guy, highly doubt your other vehicle is a cleaning utensil. I doubt it. Stopped on the way here, stopped at a store. I just wanted some candy, a little something. I went in and I bought a pack of M&Ms. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, the king-size M&Ms are now being called share-size M&Ms. Have you noticed that? They're called share-size. Yeah, no, not only do I feel like a glutton, now I got to feel selfish too. Because nobody's getting none of my M&Ms. We travel all over doing stand-up comedy. I got to go back home to Tennessee to do some shows, and we were flying back through Macon, Georgia to get to the show in time. I got to stop and visit an old Navy buddy while we were there. I was never in the Navy. He just works over at Old Navy. He wanted a little bit of help while we were there on his farm. He wanted us to help shoe his horses, and I didn't know how to do it because I couldn't find the laces. This is what they do for fun. They wanted to take us out cow tipping. I had no idea how to do it. I kept leaving like 20% at every cow. Have a new girlfriend at this time. I met my girlfriend online. How many people here met online? A couple people? Did somebody over here meet online? I have no idea what that meant. That was nothing. You know what though? We met online, but we didn't have computers or anything. She was swimming, I was fishing. I just reeled her in. She doesn't like living on the mantle, but that's where I put her. She's a good girl. I love her. She is a cosmetologist. First time I talked to her, we were talking on the phone, and she goes, I'm going to tell you a little about me. She goes, I'm a cosmetologist. She goes, I tend to scrutinize people. I said, scrutinize? What do you mean by that? She goes, well, like if you have one hair out of place. Like, let me stop you right there. All of my hairs are out of place. I have no idea where any of them are. They're gone. I was baptized in 2005. I'll give you the way that the baptism went down. The baptismal at our church is like halfway up the wall, and they filmed it. I was very worried about it because at the time I was 340 pounds. I was really worried about my pastor dipping me underwater because he didn't have like a forklift or a pulley system. They filmed it. They had it on video, and I'm sitting there looking at it, and it's two bald guys halfway up the wall. We look like the hecklers from the Muppets. was like, it was great. I loved it. Well, it was pretty good. We do shows traveling all over the country, and in doing so, I decided to get AAA. I thought it was responsible, have AAA for my car, and if you're familiar with the AAA plan, what they'll do is they will tow your car up to 100 miles 3 times a year. And I was going to take full advantage and use this, and my car broke down the other day 5 miles away from home. I had the tow truck driver pull my car around the neighborhood 137 times. My neighbor sat out in the yard watching the whole thing going, this is the worst season of NASCAR I have ever seen in my life. He goes, but I'm rooting for the truck because he's been winning for like 90 laps. I said we went back home to Tennessee to do some shows. Afterwards, some people from the audience took us out to a very nice restaurant by the name of La Coute Rouge. How many people here took French? How many people know what that means? Something red, somebody said. Something red. It means the redneck. That's really elegant, isn't it? The redneck. I'm looking over their menu. They got crawdads, duck, turtle, snail, frog legs. They were very excited about their menu. I'm like, I live in Florida now. I can find all that stuff in a ditch. One of my favorite stories, there was a mountain in Tennessee where they found shark's teeth at the top of one of the mountains in Tennessee. Anybody see this? Yeah, it's Clinch Mountain in Tennessee. They said that it was a Bible-based story. They said Earth was flooded at one point. Sharks inhabited that area, and they left their teeth behind. And scientists were baffled. And I'm like, why? Because you found teeth in Tennessee? Being a single father, I've been doing a lot more with my kids. My kids wanted me to go to career day at their school. So I went. I didn't know that standing on stage and acting like an idiot was considered a career. But that's what they wanted. I show up at career day, and I'm looking at all these other fathers. There's doctors, lawyers, bankers, really important people up there talking. I figure the only thing I got going for me is that public speaking is something that a lot of people fear. It's considered the #1 fear in America. I don't know if you knew that. I figured that's all I really had going for me. So I'm standing there in this auditorium. All these fathers are going up and saying all their, real fancy jobs. And this one guy comes up, and he's a marathon runner. And he looks, it's a big auditorium full of kids. And he asks the audience, he goes, how many kids here know what a marathon is? Nobody raises their hand. My son Balin's the only one that raises his hand. Of all these people, my son raises his hand. I'm like, that's my boy. Public speaking is something to be scared of, and he's going to volunteer. He speaks up. He stands up and he says, a marathon is when a TV show plays all of its episodes back to back. As a father, I couldn't have been more mortified. As a comic, I couldn't have been more proud, though. That's my boy.